Do you have Ethernet?
No, I don't have Ethernet. What up, twin?
Rafamski. Webinar. Hey, webinar. Hey, webinar. Webinar.
Stop.
Webinar. We giving out free sauce, giving free fundage, giving it all out for free because we like that. We in P and it's B. Hey, webinar. Hey, webinar. Hey.
Stop, Blake. Stop.
Dude, what's in this crack?
Please, intro song. This guy. Thanks. It's all you, by the way.
Okay.
Oh shit! I forgot I haven't dropped detuning.
The most depressing webinar song.
I was playing Out Getting Ribs before.
Wait, what's the link for this? Wait, what's this? We live now. We're doing a free webinar. Join up. I hate when.
Did anyone take those longs I took today? Are you not that? You're not good enough.
I didn't do that. Hold up. Wait, what'd you take? I didn't see any setups today, bro. What'd you take?
Continuation longs. Oh, the 30-second. It was the most diabolical close, but.
Join up, boys. We're running a free webinar. Join up is probably going to be going for what, like 2 hours? Free sauce for 2 hours. Join the fuck up. Okay. How are we doing, guys? You guys take any trades today or nah? You guys take any trades today or nah?
You got break even on the long, bro. I decided not to go break even on that long because I'm a fucking dog and there was no reason for price to reverse. Surprised we didn't go and hit that unfilled daily gap though. Genuinely surprised.
I didn't take anything today, bro. I just saw like a long on the 30-second. That was so good just now.
Oh, just nah. Did we just? Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you're stupid.
No, but it's too late into the session.
Yeah.
Got stopped out on the long, and how did you get stopped out? Oh, I guess what were you going for just for the unfilled daily with literally no break even? I guess. I took a patty swing. Oh my god. Yeah, it's been fucking happening every damn day, bro. Every damn day. You guys been taking some ballsy ones, I'll tell you that.
Did you post on your story?
9:30 unfilled 1 hour. No, I haven't posted on my story.
Do it because it's like you need the link.
What link is it?
Sent in the chat.
This one?
Yeah. Wait, is it?
Is it?
The last one. Oh wait, yeah.
How long is this? It's gonna be about like 2 hours. I don't know if any of you were at the first one, but
That was like 3.
yeah, last one was like 3 hours.
But we were really slow.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start off with some psych sauce, just a little background story. I feel like not everyone here knows a lot about Blake and I, and then we'll get into obviously some model stuff. There's a lot to chat about, so yeah, let me just make sure everyone knows on my story to join up. Yo, free live freaking boot camp right now with young Padawan Blake Ski, the absolute slot rocket on NQ. Make sure you pull up. Gonna be giving away some free sauce. Okay.
How do you go back and forth on this keyboard?
What do you mean? Well, no, there's no. Oh yeah, I don't even know. There's no.
No, you don't have a thingy.
Oh, I guess you're gonna have to click right here.
Bro, I'm gonna misclick every time.
My keyboard doesn't have arrows.
I'm gonna misclick arrows. Can you click like this? Oh.
No, wait. Maybe if you go all the way right.
Maybe wait. Oh no.
Wait. But no. Look. You can also just click on the left.
Oh yeah, true. Or space bar.
Nah. Fuck the space bar. Hit SSL or unprofitable. I agree, bro. If you're not at least GC and Rocket League, chances are you're probably not going to be profitable trading. It's like almost mandatory.
We're gonna start up in like 5-10 minutes, bro. But get everyone joined up here. Dude.
Can you guys hear us? Some people are saying they can't hear shit.
Nah, some people are afraid. More people would be saying they can't hear us.
Oh, they can hear us. Yeah,
it's just a little delayed.
Because they're just saying GC. Damn, that shit is stupid delayed, bro. Stupid delayed. Jeez.
We have a delay on, so you guys don't signal bot. Did you trade today? No, I forgot to post on my story. I did not. Let me post that. I was driving to Pat's crib because it's 45 minutes away, so I wasn't going to trade on the highway, unfortunately. But I didn't really see anything, me personally, I would have, honestly. Like, I looked at the first, like, that 9:30 setup.
That one was a bit...
It was just, yeah, it was super high entry.
That was just funky.
It was a funky entry.
No, but my entry was super funky, too.
Was it a 30-second?
Yeah, it was just a freaking rocket candle.
Yeah. Bro, but those play.
I know.
Wait, so then you didn't go break even?
No, I didn't go break even.
Yeah, I mean, that's a safe ass stop block. Safe ass stop block.
Yeah, when you get those big ass gaps, you kind of want to use them.
Anyway, I'm not in my new apartment yet with I'm actually at my parents' crib for now. 2 weeks there, and then I'm going to Costa Rica for 2 months. So when I come back, I'm gonna get a new crib, but for now, nothing.
Where's Daddy Wellness? Bro, he's in the UK. Slamming some fucking pints. All right? My brother's having the time of his life.
Can't see chat that well.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, well, let's just get this shit started. Let's get this shit started. Bang.
Hey.
All right, so I'll let you take lead here, Twin. You want me to flip it? Like put this on this side?
Yeah, that'll be chill.
Or just show me the
put it down.
Flip.
Yeah.
Flip.
Put it down. Thumb it on there.
All right, hold up.
Once you bench, dog, I really don't bench like that. Nah, I can hit 185 for 3.
That's not bad. That's what I used to do in high school. Yo, that's really good, bro. That's my bracket.
Yeah.
I don't even honestly, dude. My strength is so bad right now. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. It's actually so bad. I've never been this weak.
Really?
We're getting back.
Screen share. I benched 225. That shit. It's laggish. Let me double check it. Right, everything's good.
Do you guys play MX bikes? Why does this guy keep talking about MX bikes, bro?
What is that?
Patty looks old as hell. Bro, what? What is wrong with you guys?
Wait, but then we're going to have to screen share this.
What?
The schmayans?
Yeah, we'll figure it out after when we get to that.
I mean, it's like the first slide.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see. Sorry, guys. Blake and I are just kind of sped. What you can do is you can just rip an entire screen, which is probably easiest.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Just
do screen two right here.
Okay. And then pull it up.
Yeah, and then you can just pull it up.
All right, that's right.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
Yeah. All right, who's ready for some free sauce? Put some W's in the chat, guys. It's our second time doing this. Really, really excited. You look fat. Okay. I said
no puh, bruh.
W's in the chat. W in the chat.
Everyone wants to throw strays at me. It's crazy, dog. And I'm really just living. And people just throw strays at me.
Bro, why are you sitting like L?
Ooh, you know about Death Note? Hey, that's fire. I didn't know you watched Death Note like that.
I watched a little bit. I love that. All right, let's run it the fuck up. Free vows. Yes, we will talk about that in a second. All right, welcome everyone to the PB Trading Live Pathway to Profitability Bootcamp V2 by Patty and Blake. Let's run it up. First off, let's clear the air, guys. I know you guys are sick and tired of all these fake gurus promising you guys the dream, which is why we're going to clear the air with some screen sharing of our payout proof. All right, so let's get into this. Let's not
just
be
pretty old payouts, though, and we're now trading on live accounts. So moving forward, you'll be seeing broker statements and shit. But yeah, go entire screen, top right. Yep, click on screen kill. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got shitted.
Oh shit, you're in the interdimensional cable.
Whoa!
Here, just click on the images.
Is it chill?
Yeah, it's fine. Just go through them like that.
Woo!
Oh, drag him, Blake.
Okay. How do I go through all these like simultaneously? Here are some payouts though, guys. just to clear the air.
Throw them all up on screen.
Fucking. Oh shit. Mogged. Just a couple payouts. Bang, 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 bang.
Outdated though at this point.
Yeah. With that being said, let's get back to the sauce.
Jesus, man, that was a rough screenshot.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, Chrome tab.
That's
top
fine.
left. Chrome tab. Yep. Bang. There you go.
Next up, with that out of the way, though, on this live bootcamp, you guys will discover how you can rewire your brain to overcome emotional and revenge trading for good, and our boring 70% win rate strategy. So simple, even your grandma could learn.
Not that boring.
And how hundreds of other people like ourselves have applied our models to achieve consistent profitability. So, question before we get into things, guys. If we can stick to these promises and deliver all this educational value for free, is it fair at the end of this live bootcamp for us to offer you guys the chance to work with us more directly to speed up your pathway to profitability? Yes or no? W's in the chat for that.
Obviously, they're going to say yes, Blake.
W's in the chat. But what if they say no and then everyone says no?
Yeah, bro, teach their own.
I'm too loud? God forbid I have some hype in this. W's in the chat. And that being said, also, guys, we are giving away 5 free funded accounts at the end of this. How are we picking the winners? The most engaged participants in this bootcamp. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, but why listen to us? We're just two weird kids on the internet after all. And like we just addressed, there are tons of bad actors in the space. He is the weirder one, right?
Did you make these slides,
even though we just showed our payout proof, we still need more, right? And you're smart to think that. Rather than us trying to explain why we're legit, though, we'll show what others have to say. So this is just completely unprovoked. These are some screenshots we pulled up from TikTok when we searched up PB. People are literally just glazing us unprovoked. I used it, but I never had a good win rate. So I switched to the PB method. Best decision of my life. And then this guy's saying PB strat, so easy to understand. Completely unprovoked too as well here. And then even more top 4 mentors in the game. Here out number 1, P and B. W's in the shop. But what have you guys actually done, though, right? We've been invited to the New York Stock Exchange shortly after we got banned.
Yeah, we got banned. I don't know why we keep showing this. We literally got banned.
Because it was fun. It was fun. 1,005 5-star reviews on WAP. And a quick disclaimer, most of the testimonials and results we show throughout this bootcamp are outliers, right? So in no way, shape, or form are we saying that you guys are going to be achieving these exact same results. But I want to show you guys one of our students, right? So this is Riley Botha. You guys probably know him. You guys probably seen him on social media. But before PB, he was trading for 1 year and he was unprofitable. He was stuck in school. He was strategy hopping. He was mentor hopping, and he was just overall emotional trading. And then 3 months into learning from us after PB, he had a $40,000 month from TopStep. And then after that, he purchased his dream car, which was an M3 comp. Shout out Botha. And then after that, he became a trading educator, and he helped hundreds of other traders do the exact same thing. Right, so then this is a student survey that we ran. 1 in every 3 traders earned their first payout within 12 weeks. And this was a survey timeline that we got, which was within 2 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, wait, so something about this survey is we asked everyone in the program who had joined within the last 12 weeks if you got a payout. Almost 22% of them said yeah, but you have to understand this also includes people who could have joined within that week, maybe even within the day. So if we would have filtered it for just like if you had been there at least, let's say 5 weeks up until 12, probably would have been closer to 40, 50%, which is incredible considering that the statistic is so low with getting a payout. Almost pretty much 20 to 30xing that. So really cool to see.
Changing the industry standard, which is what we're trying to do every day. Beautiful. So that being said, also, I want to screen share some of our testimonials real quick. Patty can do that because he's on that.
Yeah, so I'll just put this right here. Bang.
Can I see that though?
Yeah, no. Bang. Bang. It's okay,
you guys are fried, bro. Just spamming W's.
Yeah, so, anyways, here's a testimonials channel. I'm sure you guys have seen us post a lot of these on our Instagram story, but this literally goes on forever. There's people getting thousands of dollars of payouts every, goddamn, $10,000.
Yeah, he's cooking.
A lot of payouts just being posted in here every single day. A lot of nice messages too. So, if ultimately one day you do work with us, it'd be great to see your name in here and a nice message. Because this is truly probably one of the biggest motivators, just seeing everyone succeed. You could scroll in here for ages. Literally ages. I'm not going to spend more time on this, but yeah, you get the point. A lot of people have seen a lot of success, which makes us very, very happy. So yeah, I'll let Blake continue from here. There we go.
All right.
Wait, what happened? Oh, okay. Whoa. There we go.
There you go. We're back.
Jeez, that was scary.
All right. So after that, fun fact, guys, I did start trading by the age of 17. I was a senior in high school going into my college freshman year. By that time, I earned $107,000 in payouts by the age of 18, right? And I did this while being in school, okay, and working at Carrot Express. Look at me working at Carrot Express. And the big Canada event was Pat saw me trading at the beach, right? We were on a little trip to the Dominican Republic. And he was like, yo, what are you doing? And I was like, I just made a band. And he was like, how did you do that? And I was like, day trading, bro. And he was like, what? I thought day trading was a scam. Like everyone thinks, can I copy your trades? And I was like, no, but I'll teach you. I'll teach you the skill. I won't give you the fish, but I'll teach you how to fish. And this was Patty's journey. So, right? So rather than copying my trades and me just giving him the fish, I taught him. And he became self-sufficient and consistently profitable in 9 months. And so he did all this while...
Dude, are you the ones making these slides?
This is you. Look at you.
Why are you putting this picture of me,
bro?
Sam?
Because it looks AI, but it's not, bro. You look really sexy here, right? So this is a real photo of Pat working at his internship. And he did all this while being in school. Right. And let's get a couple things straight. Right. This is the first myth that a lot of people think is that I can't learn how to trade while working or while being in school. Fun fact, we did both. Right. But the reality is you can learn how to trade while working and attending school. I just need to work hard. Oh, what you do?
No, that was funny though. Here.
Okay. And then another myth is that copying others' trades is the quickest way to get rich quick.
That's the quickest way to build dependency, bro. And
right.
ruin everything.
Right. But the reality is copying each other's trades leads to long-term dependency to just feed yourself. Becoming a self-sufficient trader is where the real freedom comes from. Now, our promise to you guys for this bootcamp is that we will give you all the tools necessary to fish for yourself rather than being dependent on another trading guru to give you that fish, like I just explained. So say the following out loud to yourself. Okay, right now, I want you guys to all say that I will become a self-sufficient and consistently profitable trader. Pat, say it right now.
I will become a self-sufficient and consistently profitable trader. No, but more importantly, say I am. I believe in the I ams. I'm not an I will person. I am an I am.
Mm-hmm.
So just tell yourself, bro, every fucking personality trait that you want to have, say it. I'm patient. I'm disciplined. I'm successful. I'm a profitable trader. Repeat that shit in your head 1,000 times every morning.
Hell yeah. Now, type profitable in the chat right now if you're ready to turn consistently profitable. Can we get some W's in the chat and some profitables in the chat? Let's run it up.
Yo, finish that coffee, twin.
Wow.
No, it's some Colombian shit. It gets you fired, bro.
Wow. Okay, guys, my heart rate is a little bit too fast right now, but let's keep it running up. The hopelessness of trading, right? So we get how lonely the journey feels, right? I started off trading completely on my own. And profitability feels like a light at the end of the tunnel that never gets closer no matter how hard you work. That's the reality of trading at the start. But the breakthrough, and your breakthrough, it's time for you guys to end that cycle. Shout out Solace. This kid is in our Discord, and he's absolutely running it up for 40K in the first week of March, 130K payouts this year. And that's why you're here live. So if you stay to the end of this bootcamp, we will make for damn sure you have obliterated your psychological roadblocks. You started to pick up on the concepts to our 70% win rate strategy. and most importantly, be given a roadmap to consistent profitability ASAP so you can achieve the freedom you've always known that you deserve. That being said, guys, who's fucking hyped and who's ready to get into this? Some free sauce. Let's get into it, boys.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
Hey.
Get out of it really quick.
Yeah. Bang. All right, let's get into this. So first thing, obviously, is you need to master psychology. How to go from a degenerate gambler to a disciplined robotic trader. Although, you know, you're human. You're not always going to be a robot, but you get the point. Every trading educator talks about psych, but nobody actually tells you what to do. And you need an actionable checklist. What behaviors can you change to improve your psychological weak points? These are the things that you need to target and think about. So step one, it's identifying those 3 weak points. Is it over trading? Is it revenge emotional trading? Is it over leveraging? You usually know what your problem is, and you probably do have the answer, but you don't make the fucking change. So anyways, I want to hear what your guys' biggest problem is. Type them in chat. I'm curious what you guys are struggling with most right now.
And be completely transparent, guys. Okay, like you have to be transparent in trading. So send that in. I'll say mine. When I was starting off trading, my biggest psychological roadblock was over trading. Like my biggest, I couldn't stop trading. If I had a red day, I had to be green on the day. And that was something that I struggled with for a very long time.
Someone said perfectionism. That's interesting. That's the first time I hear that, but I've felt that before, where you just want to see like almost too much. You want it to be like A++. FOMO, patience, a lot of shit, right? A lot of shit. And a lot of that is actually not necessarily solved on the charts, but it's dependent on the routine you build in off the charts. So now it's time to fix them. Action 1. Like I said, do difficult things off the charts. It's obvious yet nobody sticks with it. Your discipline off the charts is the same as your discipline on the charts. Your life outside of the charts translates to on the charts, guys. Trading isn't easy. At the click of a button, you could either lose or you could make money. And so you need to build the mental fortitude to shrug off your losses and be detached from your wins. So look at your personal life. What are you doing to build up discipline? This is a really important question, right? Are you not eating healthy? Are you not going to the gym consistently? Struggling to not doom scroll 6 hours a day? You don't make your bed in the morning. You don't fucking do anything. You don't listen to any of the advice that you give other people. You can't even take it yourself. You know what I mean? Like all this shit matters. All this shit matters. You need to fix your habits. Lock in your daily non-negotiables. What are the 3 habits you're going to stick to every single day to develop discipline on and off the charts? It should be something you're uncomfortable doing. Examples include meditate 10 minutes daily, gym 6 times per week, no drinking or smoking. Usually it's the corny shit, bro, that you start doing and it actually makes you feel great, bro. Like me and Blake are dialed in right now on a health program, bro. Like we spent so much money on this health program, eating, fitness, fucking stretching, everything. We're doing it all right now. It's shit that we're not used to doing normally, but that's what you got to do, bro. So drop your non-negotiables in the chat. The simpler they are, the more likely you are to stick with them. I'm curious what your guys' non-negotiables are. While you guys say it, I'll tell you like my non-negotiables recently. I've been like waking up and making my bed, getting some steps in the morning, slamming some electrolytes, having an hour before trading, and then immediately at 11, getting off, eating my meal, and then going to the gym. That's like my non-negotiable right now. As long as I don't break that routine, I did something right for the day. So yeah, no gooning. That's good. It's good. Cold shower. Okay, Goggins. Gym at 6 a.m. Dog. That's fire. Meditate. Yeah, meditating is huge, bro.
You guys are locked. I love it.
I'm not even gonna lie. I started journaling every day again, bro. It's like it's crazy how much peace you find in journaling. So I recommend you guys also do that. But yeah, not a forced discipline on the charts. There's some mechanical stuff you can actually do, like Trade-Evade lockout feature. You set a profit trigger loss limit. If you surpass them, then you get locked out of trading view. This helps you avoid, trying to take extended TPs or losing more than you have on a day. Now that's with live accounts, right? So if you give an unprofitable trader any wiggle room, they will crash out and blow accounts. We know it's because we both blew over 5K in accounts before turning profitable.
Bro, this is the thing also, guys. Like when I first started trading, I lost so much money at the start. And a lot of people in the trading space will tell you like, oh, to fix psychology, you have to be more disciplined. And it's like those things that are obvious to a trader, but they don't do. So you have to set yourself, again, these non-negotiable rules where you literally can't break your rules. So Trade-Evade lockout feature, do that so you don't overtrade to the point where like you're not even giving yourself any wiggle room whatsoever.
Yeah, prop firms also have like a daily loss limit and stuff that obviously like prevent you from overtrading and shit. But yeah, it's little things, brother, you want to be conscious of. And, even after my first payout, I still went like a 3-4 month spiral where I couldn't become consistent because I let my ego get to me. And I'm sure a lot of you guys maybe have experienced that too. But yeah, don't give yourself wiggle room. So are you guys picking up on this? Type yes in the chat. I'm curious if you're understanding what I'm trying to say here. You know, it's really important that you don't half-ass anything with trading. If you take it seriously off the get-go, imagine how much time you're saving yourself from just fucking around and telling yourself, oh, well, the next account, I'll actually take it seriously. Fuck yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of yeses. So next method to boost psychology, holding yourself accountable, journaling. Just like I said, bro, it doesn't matter how fucking successful you are in life. This is something you should be doing every day. You reflect and you think. And then, of course, TradeZella, if you want to journal your trades, W software. This way you can have a track record, or you can just use a paper journal, you know, either way. So journal the following daily: setups you saw and why you didn't take them. If you were disciplined, why or why not? Did you stick to your non-negotiables off the chart? I'm sure you can see the pattern now. A lot of this is psychological, what you want to focus on, right? Like ultimately, did you follow your rules or not on the day? So why journaling is necessary? Holds yourself accountable, keeps yourself conscious so you don't slip into old habits. Look back on your progress. That's psychology in a nutshell. Now it's time to address one of the biggest limiting beliefs. I don't have enough time. That's bullshit. This is one of the biggest excuses I see unprofitable traders make. So here's our methods on how we cracked our consistent profitability while being students and working jobs. But before we get into our methods, there are two types of people. Person A, which is, you know, sleeping in bed, being a fucking loser. And person B, actually getting shit done, getting the freaking grind in. So long-term freedom. If you're on this live bootcamp in the first place, it's probably because you have less freedom than you'd like. And that's one of the nice things that trading actually does provide: financial freedom, time freedom, locational freedom. You can do it from anywhere at any time. But yeah, let's get more into this. You need to work harder now so you can have the freedom to work less in the future. I'm sure that's everyone's goal. You don't want to be working when you're fucking 40, you know, whatever. You want to be with your kids and your wife and whatever, maybe your husband. If you need to work overtime, do it. It's worth the freedom of long-term consistent profitability. Quick note: we trade futures, if that wasn't obvious. The best time to catch setups with our model is New York AM session, 9:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. But we'll go more in depth with this later. We're just focused on time management now. Method 1, trading at work/school. Rewind 5 years to when Blake was an absolute bot NPC, shredding Chetty at the damn fucking Carrot Express, making me a smoothie every morning. Alerts. You can set up alerts on your phone so when the charts would hit certain levels, you get notified. That's what Blake did. I actually did the same thing when I was working my corporate ass job. I would set some alerts on my phone. It was the Blake method. And when it hit, I'd go to the bathroom, sit on the toilet for fucking 20 minutes. And all my coworkers would be like, wow, this kid takes really long shits. No, I'm actually just trying to smack a banger on NQ. That's how it works. But yeah, so once I got an alert, I would go to the bathroom, take the trade on my phone. Easy as that. Easier said than done, of course. Method number 1, extended. Get your work done ahead of time. That way, when you come into work or school, you can duck off the bathroom for longer. So obviously, I think this is the better method. If you do work, this is what I did. I worked a 9 to 5. It would start at 9 and at 5. I would show up around 8 a.m., get an hour and a half of work done. By the time market opened, I would go to one of these quiet booths they had and just trade for 30 minutes. Usually that was good. You know, 9:30 to 10, try to find something. And then watch your trades play out and execute. Like I said, I know it's easier said than done, but it's always possible, and you got to make some efforts. But I can't do that at my job, school. On to method 2, after hours trading. Like we said, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard tends to have the best setups, but you don't have to trade the same time every day. There's New York AM, New York PM, Asia, London, right? There's multiple different sessions. Asia session is the worst because price action barely moves. But the most important thing is you stick with one session. Why? Because you'll get used to how price moves during that session. Right? You want your statistic when you're backtesting, when you're doing all this shit, you're usually backtesting one session, one strategy. That's how you develop an accurate statistic. You know, if you have a 70% win rate in AM, if you start trading PM, it's not going to correlate directly. So make sure you understand one set of price action / session. So you'll win more consistently. If you get off school, work every day around 4 to 5 p.m., trade London session. I did that for a bit. If you start work school after 11 a.m., trade New York AM session, right? Take that opportunity. The rule of ones: one mentor, one model, one session. Pick your method. It's very important. Trade New York AM session while at work, or trade London or Asia session off work. Or if you're blessed, New York AM session at home. Time management continued. Once you pick your method, you need to come up with a routine. Having a routine around your trading keeps you grounded and executions clean. Your routine: pick 1 of 3 things around your trading routine. Example 1, if you trade in the morning, maybe hit the gym, meditate, and journal before trading. Pretty much what my day looks like for the most part. If you trade while at work, maybe just close your eyes for 10 seconds before looking at the charts. Who's ready to learn some of the concepts behind our trading strategy? Let me know right now. We can get into some trading view charts and start marking shit out. Hit me with a yes. Hit me with a no. If you don't want to learn, that's fine. Just say, no, I don't want to learn, Patty. I don't want you to go on TradingView.
Don't say that. Don't say that, guys. Be locked in.
All right, quick disclaimer. We'll start with the basics and cover more advanced concepts later on in this boot camp. Even if something seems basic or you think you know it already, still pay full attention because masters never don't do the basics. So yeah, I'll just screen share TradingView here and go over some sauce. Damn, what the hell is on my face? But yeah, let me just pull this up real quick. So give me a second here, fellas. Damn, I'm freaking wired off this coffee. Man. Holy smokes, dude. Oh my God. I think my heart rate's at like 4,000. Fuck. What the fuck does daddy want us put in this? Anyways, concepts, right? It's very simple. Like, believe it or not, you guys are going to think that, you know, the more you know, the higher your win rate will be and all this shit, and the more money you make. That's not true. I've done the full circle. Like, I literally, when I first started how to trade, I was seeing success because I kept things simple. And then I lost that consistency because I overcomplicated shit. So let's get into it. There's 3 main concepts that I use. It's literally a no-brainer. First one, of course, I'm sure you guys know, is liquidity. Being able to identify major highs and major lows that price wants to go to. That is paired with fair value gaps. And finally, we have IFEGs, which if you don't know what that is, it's inverse fair value gaps, right? And so it's just invalidation of a fair value gap. So first thing is liquidity. For example, right here, right? When you look at a session, you want to be able to identify major highs and major lows. So if we look at price like this, right, we can identify that the major high here is right here and the major low is right here. And so it's really important that when you take trades, there's 3 ways to go about it. You can take a counter trend trade, you can take an internal range trade, or you can take a continuation trade. So for one, a counter trend trade would obviously be like, okay, we want to see major high, a liquidity level get swept, and then we can trade against that trend. Another type of setup would be like internally where, you know, let's say we take some liquidity here and we just catch a trade that's within this range. So maybe from here down to here, right? This piece right here. Or finally, you can take a continuation. Let's say we take out some major liquidity, price is going lower, and then we want to target whatever the major low is in this case, because this is what's left over. And so we would take a trade from probably here to here, right? So I'm not trying to overcomplicate it right now, but as you can see with liquidity, price takes out that major high. And then what happens? Price starts selling off. And then what does it go for? That major low right here. And then price starts going up. So this is literally today's price action. It's not like I'm making this shit up. Like this was today's price action, right? And price does this very, very often. But the most important thing to me is honestly the fair value gaps. And fair value gaps are a 3 candle sequence where wicks of candle 1 and 3 don't meet. So let's say we grab this. Bang, that's candle 1, right? I'm like Picasso on the charts the way I fucking shit. I said that and then I bricked it. I'm like Picasso on the charts. Bang, grab, move, bang, grab, move, bang. Fuck. Okay, that'll work. You know, we're not perfect. Like that one guy in chat said he's a perfectionist. I'm not gonna be a perfectionist anymore. Cool. That's right. Yeah. Hold up, chill. We're cooking. So anyways, so as you can see, obviously right here you have candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. So when the wicks of candle 1 and the wick of candle 3 don't meet, you create this imbalance in price. I know you guys probably know what this is, bro. Like, just fucking listen. Some people might not know. And so that creates an imbalance in price. Now, the significance of a fair value gap is that it can, one, serve as a magnet, right? So you can anticipate that price will want to draw towards there. So if prices continues going higher, eventually it'll want to pull back into this fair value gap, into this imbalance to then continue going higher. Because even bullish price action, even for price to be bullish, it needs to have retracements. So you need to go down to go up. Also applies to life, right? You need to fail to succeed, fam. That's just how it be. And so the way we use fair value gaps is 2 ways. It'll either serve as a magnet for price. We can take a trade towards these unfilled gaps, or we can use them as our support level to then take a trade in that direction, right? And then the final concept that is most important, not most important, but a final concept here is the IFEG, which is just going to be the entry mechanism. It's honestly probably the least important, but it helps you keep a mechanical system. So there's a trigger for you to enter. So like, okay, price trades into this fair value gap. Great. We respect this fair value gap. We'll call this like the condition, right? And then we get an inversion to the upside. Okay, that's our mechanical trigger here. It's because the brightness is super high. So in that case, we know, bang, we've traded into this fair value gap. We got the inversion. That's a mechanical trigger. And now what do we target? Liquidity. Awesome. We literally just got this 3-piece puzzle solved, you know, in half a fucking second. Fair value gap, inverse, target that liquidity. Great. Right? So these are the 3 main concepts. I'm going to go more in depth with strategy-based stuff. Don't worry. We're just very briefly explaining the purpose of each of this stuff right now. So let me get back to the slides, and then we'll get back to more, we'll get back obviously to more complex stuff. So for those of you who actually stay a good amount of time, you can learn some real sauce, but you know, maybe some people want to leave now and be lamos. That's up to you. I don't care, but that's just some basic shit, right? So temperature check. How are you guys picking up on all this information?
Holy sauce.
Again, please. I promise you, I will be going more in depth with this. Yeah. Very, very brief summary right now of each of these concepts. Very brief summary, but I'm going to go really in depth with this in a second. Simple sauce, good sauce, W. Too fast. Okay, I apologize. Sorry if I went too fast. I will slow it down when we get into more in-depth stuff, so everyone feels comfortable. Apologies. Quick recap. We've covered exact action steps you can take to now improve your psychology. We've covered how to trade while in school/working. We've covered some basic concepts behind our strategy, right? So now let us know in chat where you're at in your trading journey. Let's put it this way, right? You can either say you're profitable or you're unprofitable, or you can say I'm break even. You know, what is it? Unprofitable, break even, or profitable? Patty is caffeined out. Paper trading and I'm seeing a lot of paper trading and unprofitable. I'm seeing some profitable. I'm seeing some break even. I'm seeing some gooner. Interesting. Okay, yeah, that's not what I expected. But yeah, I mean, you have the whole spectrum, right? And that's totally fine. I've actually had people join just like the mentorship and be a student of mine who already had thousands of dollars in payouts, you know, like high 5 figures, maybe even 6 figures. And some people are just looking for accountability and like psych, which is also very reasonable. But doesn't matter where you are. At the end of the day, we're on the same boat with the same mission, just to become absolute dogs on the charts, make some money, help our families, chill with our friends, travel the world, and all that shit. So how many accounts have you blown? I'm curious. Do you guys have an estimated number of how many accounts that you've blown? Make each other in chat feel good, bro. There's someone out there for sure who has probably 700 accounts. A lot. That's how you know it's bad. when you don't have a number and you just say a lot. Holy shit. 26, 17, 0, 2 live accounts. Oof. 11 accounts, 10, 0, 0, 0, 10. I've blown 2. Actually, not as bad as I anticipated. Most people are actually in the sub 10 range, which is pretty good. So the fact that like you're showing up to shit like this early into your journey it's actually really good. Because it's really about prevention, right? You don't want to wait until you're 50 accounts deep, your bank account is completely rinsed, and now you're like, well, I can't even invest in myself. I can't really make a difference. I have no money for accounts. So anyways, it's time to fix that. Our phases of trading. Phase 1, as some of you mentioned, paper trading plus backtest maxing. Okay? Always start with paper trading. Paper trading equals trading with fake money. If you didn't know, you can't lose money, but you'll get a sense of executions and win rate. And the good thing about paper trading is you can do it in live markets, right? So it just gives you a bit of practice in real time. So we use TradingView. TradingView has a paper trading integration. And so paper trading until your win rate is consistent. Phase 2, backtesting. Backtesting is trading previous market data to see your win rate. I actually recently backtested March on 2023, 2024, and 2022 because I started off March pretty weak and my win rate didn't feel like it was there. So I went ahead and backtested it, even at the point that I'm at, just to get an idea of how I would perform, estimate, like on an estimate. So yeah, it's always nice to just brush up on this. Do this at all stages. Even if you've gotten payouts, you should be backtesting religiously, just like I said, right? It's important to have that data reassured in your head. Okay, the model works. It works over time. Let me backtest. Why backtesting is important? Well, you get a sense of how price moves historically over many months. You get a sense of, or years. You get a sense of for how setups play out over many months or years. And eventually you'll start to pick up on the subconscious skill of profitable executions. You'll intuitively know how price moves. Mastery is achieved through time rather than only trading live market data during the session you trade, which is limited hours every day. You can backtest countless hours. Easiest way to 2x your speed of profitability. We use FX Replay for backtesting. Actually, nowadays I've been using TradeZilla to backtest. So either one that you guys like, doesn't matter. Point as you backtest. Time, remember, work more now to work less later. It's very important. You should have that mindset in you. Be a dog. Time for you to learn about the story of Captain Underpants, one of my favorite students ever. I love this guy.
What a dog.
So meet Captain Underpants. He got, you can see this payout right here, right? But you can clearly see he made a lot of money, $24,000 in payouts on Apex. Got a 40K month. But let's explain to you guys the backstory. He's a teacher from Singapore. Okay. This means he had two disadvantages. His time zone was cooked on the opposite side of the world, right? It was hard for him to trade New York AM, and he was extremely busy with work. However, despite these challenges, he hit 40K per month in payouts in less than 3 months of learning from us. Why his journey was so quick? Backtesting. The second he joined the group, whoa, what happened? Why'd I get kicked out of my own slideshow? I didn't try to edit it. No, I'm not doing all that. Where was Captain Underpants? My bad, guys.
It's like 150.
Okay. So, like I was saying, he's a teacher from Singapore. He has some disadvantages, time zones and stuff. However, he still hit a 40K month in payout in less than 3 months of learning from us. Why? Because he backtested it. Like, he grinded the strategy the second we taught it to him. And yeah, a little bit more on Captain Underpants. So it's also just a fact that he didn't feel the need to waste time. He was in a position where I remember him telling me, where he's like, Pat, I just want to spend more time with my kids. I don't want to work as a teacher. I want to be with my family, and that's it. And when he joined, he went on a honeymoon. So he didn't show up to calls for like the first 2 weeks, but then he pulled up and he absolutely fucking grinded and he kept his word. That's what's important, bro. A lot of the times you guys are going to have this gambling instilled mindset, which happens naturally with trading. You're playing with money for the first time and you want to get rich quick. You want to fuck around. You want to do stupid shit. That's not how it works, dude. Lock the fuck in for just 1 or 2 or 3 months where you don't break your rules, and you will be so grateful and thankful you did that for the rest of your life. Stop saying, next account I'll take seriously. After I full port this one, I'll take it seriously. Lock the fuck in. That's what this guy did, because he didn't have time to waste. He just wanted to fucking be hanging out with his kids, right? So on to story number 2. Meet Jonathan. Jonathan, he was just a regular guy who scooped ice cream for a living, kind of like Blake making freaking shakes.
Yep.
And was trying to learn trading, but didn't know who to trust. Not only was he in pre-med school, but he was also working a job. And within 3 months of taking the leap to start learning from us, he hit a consistent 5-figure months and scaled to $50,248 in payouts. He made half a doctor's salary in 2 months without going into debt from student loans. Complete breakdown, as we already showed. We made YouTube video breaking down his story on Blake's YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, PB Blake's YT. Why was Jonathan's journey so quick? Backtesting, right? He learned the model. He backtested it, got that data in his head. He knew he can trust it. Bang, executed with confidence. Very important. Common theme. It takes around 3 months to master our trading model. To learn it, probably 3 weeks to a month. To master it, realistically, 3 months. We're not going to sugarcoat it. You need to actually put the fucking work in. That's how it is. So if you go all in, but that's if you go all in, like I said. Now, take a deep breath. All right. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Time to reveal our models. Gonna bust open trading view live and screen share. So we're gonna get into this. I'll let you guys chill for like 30 seconds. I'm gonna take a piss. Blake can yap.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into the real sauce.
How are you guys doing though? Another temperature check. How are you guys feeling about this? I know Pat just discussed pretty much liquidity for value gaps, inverses, like the basics of our model. But now we're going to really like reveal in depth on what our model is all about. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. I'm just seeing some fucking W's. So I love it. I'm super hyped on this, guys. What do you use to backtest? I use FX Replay, bro. This bootcamp should last around 2 hours. We usually do it for around 2-3 hours. I can't afford FX replay, bro. I couldn't afford FX replay too when I was first starting out, and I would literally like change fucking emails and do the 7-day free trials and rip like a year of data within like 3 days. It was so bad, but that's something you can do.
You try to do the make a new email method.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking about that. It's so
just
cooked.
Create a new email and do a free trial every time.
It's so cooked.
No, but you guys should try trade backtesting on TradeZella.
Oh yeah, sure, you can do that.
TradeZella has a good backtesting software. Plus they have the journal, so you got that 2-in-1. But yeah, let's get into some model breakdown shit. This is gonna be a bit complex. How long should I do this for?
Just break down.
I'm gonna break down
PDI. I'll break down continuation.
Okay. Word. Bet. Let me pull up the charts here, guys. I'm gonna flip this real quick just so I can see better.
Do you recommend the CPI method? Not if you're unprofitable, bro. No. It's just building bad habits. You need to build good habits.
Okay. So let's get back into this. Like I discussed, there's really 3 main concepts. It's very simple, guys. Liquidity, which is the major highs, major lows. It's really all I'm looking for. Fair value gaps, IFEGs, which is inverse fair value gaps. Now, here's the thing. These 3 concepts can be rearranged to create pretty much 3 different scenarios. We're going to mainly discuss 2 specific scenarios here, but let me just tell you really what this means. This is going to be the topic on market conditions / structure. So with these 3 concepts, you can go about it a few different ways. You can trade counter trend, where price eventually hits, that higher time frame fair value gap, and you look for, some sort of structure on the lower time frame to take a counter trend trade, right? Which means you're going against the trend. That's like scenario 1, and we just call this just the basic counter trend. This is usually going to be a MEC model for most cases. Put counter trend. Then you could also have the complete opposite of this, which is you identify that there's a major liquidity pool that price is trading towards, right? Or like an unfilled gap. And we can clearly see, okay, price is very bullish. We have this major high still above. And all I'm looking for is a continuation towards that major high. So what do you look for? Well, you're going to still look for that pull back into a fair value gap. You're going to look for that inverse of the upside. That inverse of the upside of the highest time frame inversion. And in this case, you're going to look for a trade targeting that major high, and you're taking a continuation long in this case, right? I know I'm explaining it pretty surface level right now, but it's so you get the idea. Look at this and look at this. It's the same thing rearranged, right? It's almost like you're playing chess, bro. You're playing chess. You're waiting for the market to create an opening and you're capitalizing. So like I said, first one counter trend, this one continuation. And then last one, I'd say is just going to be that internal range. So this one's going to be external to internal. This one's going to be internal to external. And then last case, this one's not as common, but this is more so like an internal to like internal. And this is just when you're within like the range of the day. And that'll normally look something like this. Like let's say, market opens up. Here, I'll put it like this. We trade down into like a 5-minute bullish gap. And then, at market open, we get that inverse to the other side. We enter here and we're looking to target a level like a major high or like an unfilled 5-minute gap in this case within the range, right? And
good question. Someone asked, what time frames do you use this on?
Yeah.
For bias? You want to go back?
Yeah. So I'll get into that right now. So for me, and this is pretty universal. Blake sees it pretty much the same way. For bias determining, I'm mainly going to use the 1 hour and 4 hour. I recommend you guys just keep it as simple as this as you're starting out. As you get more, as you get better with the models and everything, maybe you can add a time frame in there. But the 1 hour and 4 hour is the best, right? So when I'm looking for that counter trend trade, I'm looking for us to be bouncing off a 1 hour, 4 hour gap and then get that lower time frame structure. Now, for the actual drawn liquidity, pretty much for like drawn liquidity determination, I use the 5 and 15 minute. And when I say this, by the way, I'm referring to fair value gaps. Okay, so this is all in the sense of fair value gaps. These are going to be what builds the foundation for trades. And obviously what we use as our support levels, drawn liquidity levels. So fair value gaps help you determine the bias on the 1 hour and 4 hour. Fair value gaps help you determine the drawn liquidity on the 5 or 15 minute. So when we look for these pullbacks, they're on the 5 and 15 minute. And then finally, your entry is going to be on the 1 to 5 minute time frame, right? So once again, bias 1 hour, 4 hour, drawn liquidity 5 to 15 minute, entry 1 to 5 minute. As you can see, if you didn't notice already, there's almost like this like funnel effect, right? Where we go from like high to low and then ultimately enter. That's what's called time alignment, dude. That's why shit works, right? You're not going to look for price to bounce off a daily gap and then take a 1 minute entry. No, that's not how it works. You're just not aligning the time frames there. But with this, you're aligning the time frames, right? So if we see here, like, okay, cool. Price is bouncing off an hourly bullish for value gap. Price is delivering higher. It then bounces and then it trades down into a 5 minute gap. And then we get that the inverse between the 1 to 5 minute time frame. Notice that time frame alignment. I'm literally scaling down from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame to enter.
What I want you guys to know is that everything that's happening on the higher time frame should be happening on the lower time frame, right? Like Pat was saying, time frame alignment. So if you see a bullish trend on the higher time frame, try to take trades alongside that, right? And with reversal trading, it's going to look like in these counter trend trades, it's going to look like this on the lower time frame where we're, maybe chopping down, but higher time frame, you're still always wanting to be alongside that trend. Okay. But yeah, that's just some sauce.
Yeah. So like for an example would be this trade today. So you can see today's Monday, right? Yep. This is today.
Yeah.
Okay. So look, there's actually two good examples here. So this is kind of like a continuation long. I believe there's one at open here.
Second only. Oh, there's.
Okay, so we'll just use the other one I took.
Yeah.
But so look, I'll give you this for an example. Today I identified we have this unfilled daily gap above, right? Fair value gap. I can also go on the 4 hour and see that we have this major high right here. This major liquidity that I identify we have above. I'm gonna use that as my narrative, right? That's where I'm assuming price wants to go to because I see it as bullish going into market open. And so I want to find a trade that obviously works with that. So now what I want to wait for? Well, if I want to take a continuation long, right? And I've identified that the market is bullish. For one, let's see if we're bouncing off anything. Okay. I can see here that price actually traded into this hourly bullish gap. It's small, but it did it. We traded into this hourly bullish gap. We tapped it. Awesome. I want to take a continuation long. I have this narrative above that price wants to go up there. What does a continuation long look like? Okay, so price goes down, it goes up, it trades into a 5 or 15 minute, then highest time from inverse to the upside, and there's a major high we're targeting. That looks awfully similar to this, right? Price comes up, comes down, trades into that 5 or 15 minute gap. You can see right there, we trade into that 15 minute gap, 5 minute gap as well. Bang. And now I want to look for continuation. Well, we didn't take this one, but now we can see that price does the same thing once again. What does it do? Trades down, hits this 5 minute gap. Awesome. If we're taking continuations, I want to see this 5 minute gap get respected and then take that inverse to the upside. This case, in today's case, we got an inverse that was super strong. Like we got a really high close, like you'll see right here. But nonetheless, I shouldn't be scared of this because this tells me that price does want to go up. There's volatility kicking into the upside here, and I'm getting that confirmation through inversion. That's that mechanical trigger. It is literally telling me, okay, we've now invalidated every bearish gap in this leg, and we are ready to continue delivering higher. And so with that, I've aligned the timeframes. Once again, tapped into hourly gap, pulled back into 5 minute, inverse to the upside. As you can see here, the 30-second was the highest time from inverse. If you don't have the 30-second, don't fucking worry about it. Most trades aren't going to be on the 30-second. Today was just like one of those rare scenarios. But yeah, right? And so we get that confirmation through inversion. And then as you can see, price eventually, don't be scared. It comes down for a bit. We were only looking for a 1-to-1 here. This is what the trade looked like. and we end up TPing here, right? That's one example. Same shit happens almost every day, which was Friday. What time was Friday's trade?
It was like, yeah, right there.
Okay, now look at this. Look at this. Even fucking better example. So here on Friday, what did we get? Price trades up into this hourly bearish gap, right? Hourly bearish gap. Price trades up into that hourly bearish gap. We're bouncing off of it. Now, if we wanted to take continuation shorts off this hourly bearish gap, what would we want to see? Pull back into 5 or 15-minute gap and then inverse of the downside. What do we get? Well, price opens up this 15-minute gap right here, right? It's right above us. I marked it out with the line. What does price do? Price trades into this 15-minute gap. And what do we get? As you can see, look, we go on the 15-minute chart. We have price wick into this 15-minute gap. Oh, sorry, I marked it way lower than it was. Price trades into that 15-minute gap. And then what do we get? That inverse to the downside, right? In this case, we had a 2-minute. I believe it was. Or what was it? Yeah, 2-minute, 3-minute. It was one of those. Yeah. And this case, once again, price, people would fear volatility this strong. Why? Because it makes you think that, oh my God, I'm late to the entry. But nonetheless, if your targets are still intact, you know, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be scared that volatility is kicking in your favor. But like I said, 15-minute pullback, that inverse of the downside, we get that confirmation. And so then we have all the steps, once again, hourly, 5 or 15-minute, inverse of the downside on the 1 or 2-minute. And then you take your trade, continuation short, whatever the fuck you want to target, and bang, right? So there's so many different ways you can kind of go about it. And then the last example I'll show is this right here, right? This is like this counter trend example. We showed 2 continuations. This is almost kind of within the same realm, but this is like this market open example where what do we get? Well, price is pretty bullish right now, right? Market's about to open. We have some structure for price to go higher. We have this major high above, right? Only liquidity I care about is the major high. And if I want to take a trade, I want to see price, most likely in this case, pull back into this hourly gap. We have this unfilled hourly gap below. And so what happens? Price opens up lower at 9:30. We hit that hourly gap. We have good structure to be longing. So what do we wait for? Confirmation through inversion. We get confirmation through inversion right here. Bang. And this is what we call the PDI. This uses the idea that, you know, before the market opens, it usually accumulates. Then the market opens, it manipulates, hits that hourly gap or whatever the key level may be. And then we get that inverse in the opposing direction. And then in this case, right, you have that 1-minute confirmation entry and you go and target that major high and you get spectacular delivery. Are you guys understanding this? Are you guys understanding this? I see a lot of people saying Patty swing.
Yo, guys, also, please chill with the spam. If you're going to be typing in chat, just make sure to be like asking like good questions or stuff like that. If you're just spamming the same thing 100,000 times, I keep seeing some people are doing, it's like not helping us help you guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to go.
You're going at a good pace.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going at a good pace. If you don't understand, like that's fine. You're not supposed to understand this off rip. Like, you know, you probably have to watch this a few times to really have it click. But that's why, like we said, backtest, all these things are important because then you start seeing it more. It becomes clearer. So for some people, this might look like freaking foreign symbols and nothing is making sense, while other people are like, okay, this is making sense and it's actually all clicking now.
Yeah, it's being recorded.
Right. But the point is, what I'm trying to get at here is you can trade many different ways. You can execute counter trend, you know, internally, whatever, this and that. Just depending on the market conditions and what the market is presenting. There's almost a setup every single day. There could be a week where you don't get a setup. There could be a week where you only have shit setups and they don't play out. But long term, these setups are extremely profitable, very high win rate, and they're very easy to understand because they're very simple, dude. We don't overcomplicate this. And we've gotten the whole fucking loop, bro. Like there's a point where we added so much to the strategy and then it's kind of started like fogging up a bit. It wasn't as consistent. And then you kind of do this full circle moment where you're like, yeah, simpler is better.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are pretty much the main ones. I pretty much.
Yeah. You pretty much covered it.
Yeah. So
I can touch up on the Mac model maybe.
Yeah. If you want to, you want to? I feel like I pretty much got everything.
You pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I forgot Blake was supposed to chime in there a bit. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this was pretty simple to understand, and if you don't, once again, it's totally fine. You can rewatch this, of course.
But it's literally, guys, the same thing that we talk about every single day. Like, these trades that we're showing you are looking the exact same, like every day. For example, we can go back to this was what, Friday. Those were the 2 setups on Friday, right?
Yeah, there was a Thursday setup, I believe.
Yeah, so there was also like a Thursday setup, which is literally like these exact photos and drawings that Pat is drawing out here, right? So if we can go back here. Guys, I'm a little washed on Pat's charts, I'm not going to lie. What time was that setup?
Oh, that was a 1 minute long you took?
It
was like a 1 minute long you took, I think.
Was it?
Oh, no, it was this beautiful continuation short off the 5 minute right there.
Right here, right?
Yeah, there's two.
Okay,
there's like the 30-second to the upside.
Yeah.
And then there's also that short.
So what Pat was talking about at the start, guys, was time frame alignment. And I kind of want to just brush up on that and what that means exactly, right? So time frame alignment is just looking at the higher time frame and seeing what trend we're in and trying to just align that with the lower time frame, right? And using these conditions. So a condition we can have here, that's obvious to start off and look at the day, is what? An hourly fair value gap, right? So we see this hourly fair value gap and it is getting what? Respected. So conditions is just simply asking yourself, what is the market doing? Are we respecting bearish or disrespecting bullish? And that would mean what? A bearish bias, right? So to kind of determine your bias, right? We can say bearish equals respecting bearish gaps, disrespecting bullish gaps. Okay, this is really, really a simple way for you guys to actually understand how the market is moving, because it's doing the same thing every single day. And then if we have a bias that's bullish, put this in green, then the market is doing what? Respecting bullish, disrespecting bearish gaps. So when I'm looking at this chart here, what is the market doing? It's currently respecting this bearish fair value gap here, right? And on the hourly time frame, we're in this downtrend. We are going lower, right? So I want to be alongside that trend. Now we can zoom in now to maybe the lower time frame, like maybe the 15-minute.
I just realized.
What?
Do you realize what you're doing? You're looking at the screen share, but the chart.
Oh, I was like, why is shit so laggy, bro?
I was like, bro, how is
oh
he,
my
how,
god.
how are you even moving it?
Oh my god, I was like moving so slow.
Bro, Blake is looking at the monitor that's screen sharing instead of the actual
Fuck.
charts.
I was like, why am I so slow right now, bro? I feel lethargic. All right, so we're back to business. All right. So market is clearly dumping here, right? If we can go to 9:30 here. Right. And we are going lower. You can see now on the 15-minute. It's telling the same exact. That was crazy. Bro, I was like,
why is he staring at that monitor?
Dude, I was like looking at this monitor. It's like so much laggier. Right. But what is the market doing here? We are respecting bearish. The same thing on the 15-minute time frame is the same thing on the hourly, right? So we keep zooming in and zooming in. And now that's what we want to look for on the lower time frame, like 9:30, right? So we go on 9:30 and we want to look at like the 1 minute to 5 minute time frame. And we want to be looking at fair value gaps from the 5 minute to 15-minute, right? That's what Pat was just talking about. So we can use these as our key levels, right? So the 15-minute gap here above, we have a 5-minute bearish fair value gap here. So again, this is our main condition, right? What am I expecting coming into this day? Since I am bearish, I want to see price respect this 5-minute gap and do the same exact thing as the higher time frame. Respect bearish and then disrespect bullish. Okay. So you can find your bias the same way you can find your entries. And then the IFVG at the end of the day is just going to be your entry model trigger. So we are respecting bearish, right? We come into this 5-minute gap, we're respecting it. And now what is the fair value gap in this leg to confirm a bull or a bearish bias? We're going to use these bullish fair value gaps, because if this gets disrespected, what is the market telling us here? We are respecting bearish, disrespecting bullish. Okay, so the 5-minute gap here gets respected. We then get a close through this gap right here. And this is our entry trigger right here. We can put a stop loss at this high. We can put a TP at this low, or maybe a low down here somewhere. You know, we can just look to the left of us. Look, this is a pretty major low. You can mark this out. And then we can just look to target this for about, I think I had my stop loss a lot tighter than this. I remember. I think it was around here. And this can be just for about a 1-to-1 R, right? And this is typically what you guys want to go for, is like base hits, especially when you guys are trading with funded accounts. You're going to have consistency rules, right? So those consistency rules are going to look like 40%, 30%. Sometimes those instant funding accounts can do 20% consistency rules. So you're not trying to go for super, super high RR 1-to-5 trades. Sometimes you can occasionally hit those, but your base hits is what's going to get you paid, okay? People love to hate on 1-to-1s and 1-to-2s, but at the end of the day, that's the right way that you guys should be trading when it comes to prop firms. Okay, so then this plays out here. And again, it's the same exact thing that we're disrespecting bearish or bullish, respecting bearish on the higher time frame. And that's the same way you find your bias, is the same way you find your entry models. That's just all time frame alignment. Hopefully that makes sense in a really simplified way. That's really just our strategy. It's just looking at those two main things.
All right. So that being said, we'll get back to this. Hopefully that felt pretty saucy for you guys. Seemed like we got a lot in there. But yeah, yo, W's in the chat if you guys like that sauce. Did you pick up on stuff? Once again, don't be like freaking out if you don't understand it off rip. Like, it's not supposed to just be like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. You got to put some work in. You know, you got to rewatch the video. We'll send you guys all the recording and everything, and all those things, right? So also we have our YouTube channels. There's infinite information there. So, you know, you can always look at that stuff. You see us apply it every day. If you want to watch my trade recap today on YouTube, it's posted. It's literally that continuation model. If you want to watch any of Blake's trade recaps, they're posted pretty much every day. CISD, we don't really use CISD.
I use it only if it's like a really bad entry and like the inversion's really cooked. I've sometimes,
but it's usually still paired with an IFE.
But yeah, it's always paired with an IFE.
I'd say 1 out of 100 trades I use it's a CISD, so don't even worry about it. You want to try to be as mechanical as possible. Guys, look at their YouTube, the holy sauce. That's right, our YouTube is super saucy. So let's continue this.
You're gonna rip this until.
So is that kind of making sense for you guys? I know it is. I don't even need to hear you guys say it. So now for some real money making sauce. How to scale up your trading without risking your own capital, aka how to rinse prop firms via copy trading. So let's get into it. How to flip $500 into 10K a month using our dead simple mechanical and PDI model that you just saw. So funded accounts. I'm sure you guys know this, but there's businesses called prop firms that sell trading accounts called funded accounts. Solid firms trade to find alpha futures. These are great. Also, Apex is great as well. There's plenty out there, right? Just go with what's reputable, with what people are using, what you know has obviously a good support system and all that, and you should be good. So how they work is you'll, on average, spend around $150 to buy an account with 50K of simulated capital, kind of just like a video game. And if you pass the eval phase, then you can actually win trades to get paid out, right? So it's like you got to play the tutorial to play the actual game. And that's pretty much how it works. So if you make 10% on a 50K account, you can pay yourself out 5K usually. Sometimes maybe only over the buffer. It depends on the firm. Each firm has like slightly different rules. So some firms might make you, like, if you make 10%, which would be 5,500, they would only let you pay yourself out like 3K, maybe, right? Sometimes more. So it depends on the firm. But that sounds too good to be true. Different prop firms have different rules. Consistency rules. Best trading day can't be more than 50% of profits. This is very common. This avoids people just full porting and getting lucky. Max drawdown, if you go below X% on the count, you'll blow it. Blowing the count equals losing the count. You don't. So you have to buy a new one. It doesn't mean that you actually lost $50,000. If you go below 5 to 10%, that's usually when you blow it. That's how it is normally with most accounts. It's usually around like 6%, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 to 6% is a common number. So this number goes up as you go up on the account. The max drawdown limit, obviously, as you get more money and you build more capital on the account, you have more room to work with, right? So you want to build that wiggle room. If you get up to 105K on a 100K account, then you can't go below 99.75K, assuming it's 5% drawdown. So usually once you actually get past pretty far from like the original starting point, like 50K, or in this case, 100K, then it's not like they'll keep trailing the drawdown. You'll be capped at like 99.75K, for example. So you can be at 115K on the account and you now have like 15K to work with pretty much. So wire model is built for rinsing prop firms. It has a high win rate, 70%, but low RR, risk to reward. That's kind of the trade-off. Well, that is the trade-off. Meaning we win most trades, but when we do win, it's not as big. When we lose, we don't lose as much either. We lose what we risked. So continued with a high win rate, it makes it easy to pass consistency rules, right? Especially even easier when you have low RR. So yeah, and when you have low RR, it's also easy to not get cooked by max drawdown. This still seems too good to be true. So how do prop firms even make money? Greed. Newer traders essentially gamble, blowing accounts after account. So once you're consistent, profitable paper trading and backtesting, move to a funded account. That way you're not the target audience of prop firms, the ignorant kids who are just treating it like gambling, right? You're taking it seriously and you know what you're doing. So stay disciplined and only take trades when you see a good setup, pay yourself out, putting it all together. You spend $150 to buy a 50K funded account, pass eval phase, earn 5% on the account, pay yourself out 2.5K. So you may be thinking, I'm putting in all this work, buying an account, passing the eval phase, and winning more trades to pay myself out. How the fuck am I supposed to make 5 to 6 figures per month from trading like you guys? Well, there's two methods. One, live account, how they work. You put in 100K of your own capital. You keep 100% of the profits you make. This is how traders are able to make 6 figures in a single trade. But why we don't recommend live accounts yet is they involve way more risk. I mean, bro, we recently, only in the last year, started trading like mainly on live account. We spent the first few years only trading prop firms accounts for the most part, and just trying to get as many payouts as possible. And then of course, dude, put money to the side, stack that money up, and then open up a live account once you feel really confident. I'm about to start trading on the biggest and live account that I'll ever have. So it'll be a whole new journey for me, right? But that's how you do it. You start with props, rinse, copy trade, get hella money, live account. So if you lose all your money on that account, it's not like losing the $150 you spent on a funded account, like you're dead ass losing all the money you deposited. So only trade live accounts if you've been consistently profitable for years, earning multiple 5 figures per month consistently from funded accounts, and have extremely strong discipline and psychology. If you're here, live accounts are not for you. So how do I scale? Well, get your notes out. We're about to break down why trading is such an insane opportunity to create financial freedom right now. So without the risk of losing it on a live account, copy trading. This is how you can rip those 50K trades pretty much, copy trading a bunch of accounts. This is how you can pay yourself out 2K across 20 accounts and have 40K in payouts, in a week. And so how it works is you buy multiple funded accounts, you sync them together with a software called Trade Syncer. You pretty much just select the lead account, put the rest under that account to be copied. So whatever you execute on one account gets copied over. And yeah, money math. You get your first payout of 2.5K from one funded account, spend $1,000 on Chrome, invest a leftover 1.5K on 10 50K funded accounts. You're in 10% on those 10 50K accounts. Now you're up 50K. You'd probably be able to pay yourself out around 30 to 40K of that. Obviously, easier said than done. It doesn't just happen overnight. This is something that takes a while. All right. That's just a reality. But if you blow all the accounts, you're only losing the 1.5K you spent buying them, not 500K if it were on a live account. So this still sounds too good to be true. Well, it's no coincidence that there are many regular kids like us earning 5 to 6 figures per month in payouts consistently from trading. The opportunity is insane right now. And to recap,
huge sauce, guys. Huge sauce. Yeah, but you do need to spend $1,000 on Chrome, unfortunately, guys, to become profitable. It's canon event, and that's what I did. That's what Patty did, and that's how you have to do it. Okay, so again, guys, to recap. All right, you guys now have the foundation to demolish all of your psychological roadblocks and end your emotional trading for good. Okay, here's a testimonial from the boy Reese, right? And you know how to trade while working or being at school, so you can earn payouts despite having a busy schedule. Here's a payout from Santana. You know how to apply basic ICT concepts to understand how the markets move without guessing. And you've seen our 70% win rate models work that allow you to win trades consistently without over leveraging your accounts in full porting. Okay. You know how to apply basic.
You went back.
Yeah.
You went back.
Oh, I went back. I did do that. You understand how to flip $500 into 10K a month by copy trading and applying our 70% win rate strategies. You've heard real success stories from students just like yourself. Students like Angela. She's a absolute dog of a trader. Made 14K this month. That was in November. Students like Jelly, did an interview with him if you guys want to see that on my YouTube channel. Students like Boda, again, Pat did that interview. We did that interview on Pat's channel. Students like Jonathan And now we have some questions for you guys. Okay, so remember, the most engaged students are in chat are most likely to win a free funded account. So we are giving that away. But do you feel more confident that you can become a consistently profitable trader now? I want you guys to answer in chat now. How are you guys feeling? Because there was hella sauce that was just dropped.
Yeah, that was a lot of freaking sauce.
A lot of sauce on everything. The models, prop firm trading. I'm hyped on that. W. And are you guys happy you came to this boot camp today?
Bro, if I see a single no, I'm going to crash out.
W. And do you guys realize the insane opportunity in front of you to cash in by rinsing prop firms and copy trading? Obviously. Do you see yourself using what we just showed you today to start earning consistent payouts from prop firms? And even if you guys only used a tiny fraction of what we just showed you, would you say that your time at least was well spent? You learned something.
Yes, Blake.
Yes, Patty. Thank you. Would you like to spend even more time together going even deeper and further on how to become a self-sufficient, consistently profitable trader? W's in the chat. And here's the thing, okay? If you don't implement the topics we just went over in this bootcamp, nothing in your life will change. Change starts with change. You need to start taking action. So think about what you really want right now. Maybe it's to quit your soul-sucking job or drop out of school. Maybe it's to retire your parents. Think about your why. And maybe just simplify the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life. This can all be yours. But here's the truth. As you guys have seen, we are regarded as some of the best trading educators on social media. But even if we spent 4 more hours together on this bootcamp, it probably wouldn't be enough to create long-lasting change in your life. And what we gave you today was valuable, but it really was just the tip of the iceberg. So for those of you who said you want to go more in-depth with us, we'll love to show you what we have as a Q2, a little surprise for you boys. What if you had access to a system that takes you by the hand and walks you through this step-by-step 70% win rate model that hundreds of traders are using to get paid out consistently every single month? Hold you accountable with us by your side. We have one-on-one coaches, an accountability partner, and hundreds of other traders on the same path as you guys saw from the testimonials, and equips you with all the tools that makes failure nearly impossible. Okay, so this is that same system that's helped everyone we showed you today change their lives. Angela, Joshua, Jelly. And when we were making this boot camp, we had 2 choices, right? Choice was number 1 was to drop a ton of sauce and then part ways for you guys to implement it. And choice number 2 was we play a more active role in your trading community. So rather than you guys just pulling up to this boot camp and then we never see you again, and we don't even know if what you've implemented gave you the sauce that you need or not, we chose option number 2 to give you the opportunity to work with us hands-on. Oops.
Bro, you just spoke hieroglyphics for a second.
To go more in depth together in a more intimate setting. Okay, so we answer your questions along the way. We stay in your corner every step of the way on your journey to consistent profitability. And when you see what we have in store for you, you'll be glad you chose option 2. So introducing, guys, the 1% mentorship V2 Bootcamp edition. Look at me and Patty at Wall Street. Such a fly pick.
Sucks we can never go back.
So the 1% mentorship, this is the complete system to start trading like the top 1%. First things first, we have the PBAI. We have daily group coaching calls. So this is going to happen literally 6 days a week, Monday through Friday. This is going to be from anywhere from 6 p.m. to 2 p.m., depending on the schedule, depending on who's doing the calls.
Yeah, you'll usually have 4 days out of the week with Blake and I that we take the calls. But if you for some reason can't show up to the calls with Blake and I, we do have Ronan who helps us out, and he'll take those like 3 remaining days. But yeah, we're on calls pretty much every single day except Saturday.
Oh yeah, technical and psychological course, master the model, master your mind, and trade like the top 1%. Huge sauce in here. And then a one-on-one onboarding call and personalized trading plan, your complete roadmap to consistent profitability. This is going to be done with Ronan. And a community of like-minded traders. Surround yourself with driven traders who push each other in the 1%. So what this isn't, guys, is just a static course where you get a video, you get some text, and then you think that's it. Because that's not what this is. It's not just basic information that you can find anywhere on the internet. Another guru selling the dream. This is really hands-on accountability and coaching that we walk you through in-depth information that can't be found anywhere else, and just two regular dudes who came from normal families, spent thousands of hours behind the charts, reached consistent profitability, and are now helping you guys to do the exact same. Which is why we put our own skin in the game. We guarantee you, if you don't get your first payout in 12 weeks after joining, we will work with you for free until you do. Okay, this is our guarantee. As long as you join, watch 50% of group coaching calls, watch our full course, and trade and journal 3 days out of the week, we guarantee that we make an ROI on your investment as long as you apply yourself to what we teach. And we can make a guarantee like this because from the statistics, from the amount of payouts that we have every single day in our testimonials channel. So you guys right now are at these crossroads, right? You have three choices. Choice number one is you do nothing. You leave this boot camp and you do nothing. Your life stays exactly the same. And hopefully here, nobody picks choice number one. Hopefully you guys pick choice number two, which is taking action on this free information that we just gave. Leave this boot camp and implement everything you learn. Take action on our free YouTube videos. And if you stay 100% committed, you'll still probably reach profitability. So the question now is, how long will this take? Will this take another year? Will this take 2 or 3 more years? We've met some traders who have been stuck unprofitable for 5+ years. This is a reality of trading. Trading is hard, but that's because they haven't picked one model and they haven't picked one mentor to really stick with. And choice number 3 is you guys get that one-on-one help. You take the leap. Finally, you take action. You invest in yourself and you finally believe in yourself for once in your life. You then steal the thousands of hours we wasted failing in the markets and cut that time in less than half for yourself. And finally, achieve your 2026 goals of financial freedom you set out to achieve at the beginning of this year. I know all of you guys did that. So if you choose choice number 2, good luck. We'll be rooting for you either way and doing our best to push out the most valuable free content on YouTube. And if you choose choice number 3, thank you for trusting in us. We'll do everything in our power to make sure you get a return on your investment for working with us. So now that you guys are ready, click the button on your screen to apply, schedule a time to speak with us on our team, and put some W's in the motherfucking chat. W in the chat. So fill out your application, guys, on this page. Hop on a roadmap call with our team. You'll either get redirected to this page, or you'll go to a page where you can book with us directly. Our team will reach out to you from a 305 area code. That's where our team is based. And once you've applied, comment "I'm in." W Bootcamp, guys. This was so much sauce given in such a short amount of time. I'm really happy with how this went.
Yeah, it was a lot of sauce.
A lot of sauce. Loud of sauce. Mentorship giveaway. Good thing he said that. Good thing he said that. Good thing someone said that. But wait, there's more. First off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about PBAI. Okay, so, dude, this was an absolutely insane thing that we built recently, where basically you can ask it any question. For example, how do I stop revenge trading? And this is based on tens of thousands of hours from our content that me and Pat have made, from all of the DMs that we've sent out. And we made an AI that pretty much answers the questions that you guys have exactly as if me and Pat were answering it. So it's really insane. For example, let's say me and Pat can't answer you in the minutes that you want. The AI will literally answer you within seconds, right? And then you have weekly charting sessions done with you, right? This is every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Full market breakdown, the trades taking, what's coming next. Pat runs these. You guys then have your accountability group. So this is going to be where you guys get paired in with another person in the mentorship, and you guys will just basically go over the trades that you took for that day. You will say what you did right, what you did wrong in the day, and you'll just get those check-ins with your team. Next up, you guys have priority access to PB, Pat and Blake in your corner every single day after market open. I'm answering any questions that you guys have in chat at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be talking with you guys, seeing how you guys did on the trading day. And again, click the button on your screen to apply and schedule a time to speak with our team. Act fast, please, guys. Our team is only so big. So with over 8,000 plus live registrants to this bootcamp, we won't be able to accommodate everyone. We can normally onboard literally no more than 200 students per month. And our calendar space to onboard new students is already filling up as we speak. So please act fast. Within the next few hours, we'll likely be completely booked out for the next 3 days. So the cost of inaction. Why'd you join this boot camp in the first place? I want you guys to ask yourself, what are you working towards? The freedom to work for yourself, the freedom to travel across the world, wherever you want, whenever you want, the financial independence to take care of yourself and your loved ones. And what are you running away from? Are you running away from a shitty boss, a dull, monotonous job, feeling complacent, normal, and stuck in the traditional path? And what happens if you stay where you are? Ask yourself that. How much longer can you bear the current situation that you're in? And what happens if you never escape? We can't answer that question for you. Only you know how desperately you do or don't need to get yourself out of that current situation that you're in. So if you guys are ready to take action, this is the place to be. This is the perfect timing right now to change your life. There will never be a perfect time, so do it now. You're already 1/4 of the way through 2026. So to recap, finally, guys, you guys get daily calls with Pat, Blake, and Ronan, so you can get in-depth questions answered and steal years of our experience. You get a one-on-one onboarding call plus personalized training plans, so you get handheld experience and a tailored roadmap for your exact situation. You get A through Z in-depth video course breaking down our exact models and psychology, so you never have to strategy hop or mentor hop again. And a little bit of bonuses. You guys get a PBAI that we just talked about. So you have a 24/7 assistant with our exact brains to answer and ask any questions that you guys could ever want to ask. And also, of course, you get weekly trade breakdowns where you go over all the trades that we took over the week so you can pick up on our executions in our model 10 times quicker. And of course, you get direct access to me and Pat. So you're not just left alone in this group, but you got real access to the mentors that you guys want to learn from. And that being said, we're going to answer whatever question that you guys may have. And yeah, W Bootcamp. W Bootcamp. Bro, people spamming W's. I really can't read chat.
Yeah, it's going so fast. This guy's like, I'm feeling profitable.
Yo,
what should you risk on a 50K account eval phase? You want to be risking, honestly, between 0.5 to 1%. Honestly, whatever like you're more psychologically comfortable with. I always took like a more aggressive approach with evals. So I would risk 1% and just maintain that risk. Yeah, I mean, I think with evals, you want to be on the more aggressive end. I think once you're funded, I'd say 0.75% is like a sweet spot.
Yes, this is recorded. Where can I watch you guys trade live? I trade live on Kick almost every day. Same with Pat.
Yeah, and if I'm not trading live, I'm just posting the recap on YouTube.
Yeah. When should you go break even? That's a great question. I mean, a lot of the times we go break even at the internal high or low. But with these concepts, you guys don't want to pattern trade them. Meaning if you have the conviction, if you have the discretion and the time, you can leave trades going, right? So I personally don't always break even at the internal high or low. That's just something that we do typically do to protect risk.
Yeah, we can share screen for some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll pull up TradingView real quick and just give a little bit more sauce. But for example, let's say we grab this trade, which we were talking about before, and our conviction, our drawn liquidity is that we think price is going to go down towards, what do we have marked out there? This 15-minute intermediate low. Like, let's say we're expecting price to go down to this liquidity level right here, which is a low inside of Fair Value Gap because we anticipate rejection from there. We don't just want to pattern trade a break even and go break even at this low right here when ultimately our target is right here. So in other words, let's say you're looking to target this major high right here. This is what you have full conviction for, right? You're looking to target this major high right here. You get that hourly gap tap, bang, and then you get that inverse to the upside. Awesome. And what you're not going to do is you're not just going to go break even at a random high around here, because if you don't expect price to reverse from these two levels, if you don't expect price to reverse from a certain level, then there's no reason to go break even there. If there's a 5 or 15-minute gap in the way, then yeah, it's probably safe that you go break even. But if ultimately like you're looking to target a major high, don't just panic and assume that you need to break even to quote unquote protect your position. when that's actually just going to not give you enough room for the trade to play out, right? Like if you decide to go break even here just because you want to protect your position, chances are price will just come back, hit your break even, and then end up running higher. And this happens a lot to people who like pattern trade the break even idea. So if you have a strong conviction for a certain level, let's say this major high right here, give the trade just room to play out, right? And just hold until it hits this major high, and then of course TP there. Now in the instances where like, let's say you have like an unfilled 5-minute gap right here, right? And you're looking to target this unfilled 5-minute gap. You're taking inverse from here, right? So you're bouncing off some shit right here. And we're taking a long right here. And so we got this inversion right here, bang, bang. And you're thinking, okay, well, for one, the stop loss is always going to be at the bottom or, you know, the top of the swing high or swing low. In this case, we're taking long, so it's going to be at the bottom of this manipulation leg. And let's say you don't have a 101, but you want to be TPing here, right? Because this was your target, but you don't have a 101. You don't have the proper RR. So in that case, you would go break even here because that was like ultimately your draw on liquidity, and just hold until you get that 101. So then once price hits here, bang, you TP. But you don't want to be TPing early and claiming profits at negative RR because it's going to fuck you over. So yeah, that's really important. Like you have to think of break even in the sense of, okay, if I'm going break even, that's because I'm anticipating that price should reverse from that level, meaning I should be taking profits. But if I don't have the right RR, then I'm just going to go break even and hold until I get the right RR. Do you guys try and get what like I'm trying to say with this? It's like, if you're going break even, that means you're thinking, oh, price could reverse from here. So ideally you'd want to take profits there. And if you can take profits because you have a 101 already, then take profits. If you can't because you don't have enough RR yet, then you hold, but you're at least break even.
Yeah, your break even should be in a spot where you think price will reverse. Again, like I was saying, if this is an area where you don't think price will reverse, then there's no reason for you guys to go break even. For you guys asking how much is the mentorship, it's completely dependent on how much access that you guys want. So there's a range of different offers that we give you. Oops. Oh, your mic broke.
Yeah, there's not a one set price, guys.
It's completely dependent on how much access you guys want. How do you know what setups to fade? I mean, the majority of the time you guys have to journal. So you have to see what setups you guys are winning and what setups you guys are losing. I can guarantee you the majority of the setups that you guys are losing and that you guys can start fading is just taking trades alongside the higher time frame. So exactly what I was explaining at the start of this bootcamp or in the middle of this bootcamp about higher time frame bias and all that, you guys want to be paying attention to that. So if the higher time frame isn't aligned with the lower time frame, it's corny to say, but the trend is your friend. So just remember that.
How do you know what setups to fade? Usually, like if all your drawn liquidities have been hit before you get a setup. So like, for example, the way I go about it is I always create like two scenarios. So let's grab something like Friday. We can grab Friday's trade, for example, even though this was this 930 setup was a good trade, but in my head, it's like I created two scenarios that were my like ideal A+ scenarios, which is for one, we either trade down into this hourly gap or we trade up into this hourly bearish gap, right? So I just put two lines on my screen and I tell myself, okay, well, if price hits this high before hitting this low, this unfilled gap, if price hits this gap before hitting this gap, I'll take shorts. Now, if price opens up and we hit this gap before hitting this one, then I'll take longs, right? And in that day's case, in Friday's, we hit this gap first while leaving this gap still behind and unfilled, which means perfect. Now I have a narrative. This serves as my foundation. If I want to short, well, we're bouncing off that hourly bearish gap and we have this unfilled gap below. So this will be the foundation of my trade and this will be the magnet, right? What draws my trade in. And so when I look for shorts, right, I want to make sure that that gap is still unmitigated below because that's what I'm looking to target. Now, in this case, obviously, we get a pullback and we get a setup presented while this gap is still intact. That's why it plays out. But let's say this gap had gotten hit, right? Price kept going lower and this gap had gotten hit and we met this objective before I got a trade, then I would probably just fade everything on the rest of of the rest of the day, because the objectives that I want to see get hit and catch a trade towards have been hit. So let's say I didn't take a trade, right? And we hit this hourly gap and we hit this hourly gap. Well, those two major draw on liquidity, those two scenarios happened without me getting a setup. Therefore, I'm not going to take a trade anymore, no matter if I get a setup, because it's going to be less probable than anything else. You know what I mean? Another good example of like how to know when to fade a trade is like, if we grab, is being able to identify chop. So let's look at a day like Wednesday. You could have found something, but if you look at Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday. There was a nice woman in here, but if you look at Wednesday, right? My scenarios on Wednesday were like, okay, I either want to get a long off this 4 hour or I want to get a short off this major high getting taken, right? Those two scenarios. Why create two scenarios? I either get a long if price trades down to here or I get a short if price trades up to there. And what happens? Price never hits any of these levels. And we kind of just are like stuck within this range. And in a day like this, for me, I wouldn't take anything because we never met any of these objectives. I never had anything for me to like kind of play it off of, right? We're stuck within this range. You can obviously take like an internal range trade and try to find something there. But for those of you who are asking like, oh, how do you know when to fade a trade? It's kind of like a subjective thing. Create your two ideal scenarios. If none of those scenarios are playing out, if nothing is being validated, then just sit out on the markets. A day preserving capital is so much better than a day losing. Like I often tell myself now, even now, like I'll be like, okay, it's like 10:40 in the session and I'm still looking for a setup. And I'm like, okay, do I want to like put my risk on the table for a setup this late into the session? Or would I rather just try like use that money for a setup right off 9:30 and get like those ideal setups that I want to see? That's how you have to be thinking. It's like, okay, this setup, put my money and risk it on this setup that I don't really like. And I've just been waiting really long, or wake up the next day and try to catch a 9:30 banger. You know, that's how I think of it.
The market will always be there tomorrow, guys. It's exactly.
Fading a trade just means that you're not taking it, right? You're just like saying, okay, well, I'll just watch it play out, right? Because I don't have conviction for it. I'll watch any setup play out because nothing that I want to see happen is happening. If my scenarios in my head aren't presenting, then I'm gonna fade things. That's just how it works for me.
So a question, how can I stop being hesitant on trades? Hesitation comes from two main things. Number one is you're not backtesting enough, so you don't have confidence. You don't have confidence in a long set of data, so you think that one loss is going to be the determining factor on whether or not you're profitable. And then two is that you're risking too much money. So if you're risking too much money, risk to the point where you don't feel anything, where, you know, maybe what's the longest losing streak you've had in backtesting? Ask yourself that question. If it's maybe 4 trades, then give yourself like a 4 trade buffer before you blow your account. That's typically what I do with my profit from trading. I'll risk 1% of my trades. For example, a 50K account, I'll risk $500. The max drawdown for that is $2,000. So that gives me 4 trades before I blow my account. I'm comfortable with that. If I take a loss, it doesn't really matter because I know in a long set of data, I'm not probably going to lose 4 trades in a row. So give yourself whatever that may be. Maybe it's 0.5%. You have to risk an 8 trade buffer. Do that, but whatever gives you confidence.
What if price inverses a higher time frame gap? Yeah, so let's say price ends up trading to one of these gaps and ends up inversing it. Well, I no longer have that support level anymore. I no longer have that foundation. You have to think about it like the higher time frame is going to be the foundation. Like let's say if you're building a house, you need the foundation to be sturdy. You need it to be holding, right? Whatever goes on top of it. So if that foundation gets invalidated, if that gap gets inversed, I don't have that foundation anymore. It fucking crumbled. So I would wait for another key level to get hit where I'd take a trade off of.
No, I honestly think that 931 setup was good.
Yeah, the 931 setup was good. The 1035 wasn't bad either. Let's wait. The 1035. You go over the 1035 this morning. 1035 this morning.
No, that was like way later. Oh no, you're on like another day.
I just can't even fucking see because of this shit. 1035 is right here. Yeah, okay, so the 1035 setup, here's the thing. when I went on the higher time frame, I didn't see we were bouncing off anything, right? That's like, once again, there's no foundation there for me. So I just didn't want to execute on this because I didn't have that, like I said, that foundation. We're not bouncing off an hourly gap, a 4-hour gap, nothing, right? We haven't taken out a major high. And so in this case, I don't want to be shorting. I don't want to be shorting. You know what I mean? And that's just me though. That's like what I'm seeing in the market. I don't see anything that we can be bouncing off the higher time frame. Therefore, there's no foundation. Therefore, I shouldn't execute anything to the downside. However, to the upside, I do know, well, we did hit that hourly gap. We're bouncing off that 15-minute right here, right? We have all those things validating that price wants to go up. And then I'm just taking the continuation. That's obviously like in line with all this. So yeah, I'm on yes. But yeah, same thing, right? NQ, whatever. I'm taking the continuation here because I am getting that validation for longs, bouncing off higher time from gap, bouncing off 5 or 15-minute gap, inverse of the upside. Shorts, not bouncing off anything. So even if there is good structure, even if a setup presents, I sit on my hands. I don't do shit. I don't care if it plays out.
How much should I risk on evals is a good question. If you're unprofitable, you shouldn't be risking any more than 2% a trade. Like I think 1% a trade. While you're on evals, you got to be doing the same thing as when you're on a live account when you actually get moved, because your mental discipline is the same thing as a muscle. So if you go to the gym every day, right, you need to build on those muscles to actually make yourself a bigger person, right? Same thing with trading. If you want to become a profitable trader, you need to build on that mental discipline. You can't just immediately go into the charts and start risking, 5% and be like full porting your evals, because what's going to happen when you get to the actual live account? You're going to do the same exact thing. Will the strat work on London session? It can work on London session. Yes, I would just highly recommend you practicing just London session, you trading just London session, so you understand the nuances of that session. Fuck, bro. Chat's moving so fast. It is recorded, yes.
How to not be scared to place a trade? Well, bro, like that's just like you kind of just have to place it. You know what I mean? I always tell people, like, the answer to all your problems. Like, how do I stop over trading? You stop over trading. How do I stop FOMOing? And you stop fucking FOMOing. How do all the questions you guys have? You probably have the answer to. You're just scared to start taking action. I always tell people do the opposite, but in extreme. So if you're scared to execute, if you're very hesitant, go a week of just hammering the trades that you like. Stop trying to overthink them. Like you're like, oh, this is a good trade. Just take it. Don't even think about it. Just get used to executing. Right. And if you over execute, fuck it. Well, at least you did the opposite and you're not hesitating. And then you'll find the balance between both those. Right. Be like, now you know what it's like to hesitate. Now you know what it's like to over execute. Now you know that there's a median in between those. So yeah. Is there a free Discord? No, there's all the YouTube content. There's infinite YouTube content. The mentorship's main purpose is to have a group. We'll have Blake and I obviously access to us. You can ask us questions every day, be held accountable, dial in your psych, go more in depth with whatever questions you have. We bring people up on stage, talk with them all the time and all that stuff. But obviously, it's a no-brainer. It's a fucking financial commitment. If you're not in a position to make a financial commitment like that, don't do it. Grind the YouTube sauce. There's so much sauce on YouTube that is all free, right? The biggest thing about the program and the mentorship is being able to ask us questions every day, being able to pull up to all these calls, having that community, all these things. But by no means should you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on information. Yeah. Like you're not missing out on information by not joining.
I always say, like, you don't have to join the mentorship. Okay. I'll always say this, and I'm always preaching this because of the amount of sauce that I give out on YouTube. But if you want to speed up your process to profitability, sure, the mentorship will 100% do that, because again, holding you accountable every day. I'm checking in with you guys every day and seeing what trades you're taking. You have calls literally 6 days a week, right? So you're constantly learning and constantly getting that information. But 100%, you can 100% become profitable just by watching our YouTube and from all the free sauce that we're giving, like this boot camp that we just ran for you guys,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that pretty much does it. Regarding the 3 funded accounts, how do we want to go about that real quick? Do we announce them live or do we post it? We have everyone's emails who joined, so
yeah, I think we can announce it live. Or we can post it.
Well, we're gonna need the emails anyways. Is a thing.
We'll see. Go replace buys. Pat just posted a recap on YouTube or like a live trading session, so you can go watch that.
When's the right time to scale your accounts? I'd say once you're able to get at least 3 payouts on one account, then you should probably start investing in more accounts. That's what I always tell people. All right, we're gonna pick 3 people. We have someone helping us out who can see the accounts and emails that you guys are registered in, and we're gonna email you guys after. But I'll announce the 3 people right now. Well, not right now, in like 30 seconds.
Please speed. I need this. Who wants a funded account? Bro, people are asking like the same question, just reword. How can I stop being a perfectionist? How can I stop hesitating? And how can I not be scared of entering trades? Those are all the same 3 questions that we just answered. Why isn't chat moving? Whoa.
It keeps just freezing at the top.
Sauce is in my pants. Hey, yo. Please speed.
You guys are goated. Thanks, man.
Please speed. I need this. Oh my God, bro. I actually need a like.
Let me see, bro.
I can't read, bro. My brain doesn't comprehend that fast.
How relevant are other confluences? It disappears.
I disappears.
Fuck, that was a good question too. Can I ask you about how you find drawing liquidity? Is my missing piece of the puzzle? Can I ask about how you find drawing liquidity? Okay, you just
let me
type it 3 times. So
let me sauce. So if you watch this boot camp, you guys saw when I was talking about bearish versus bullish and what gaps we're respecting versus disrespecting. That is the simplest way to find your drawing liquidity. Literally, that's it. You understand if we are respecting bullish and disrespecting bearish, then what does that mean? A bullish bias and a bullish draw on liquidity. And you just look at the next swing high in the market or the next swing low in the market. That's all draw on liquidity is. Liquidity is just highs and lows within the market. So look, wherever we're heavily displacing towards on the hourly or 4-hour time frame, what high or low, then try to trade alongside that trend. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Literally, the trend is your friend.
What do you think of how trading will develop in the future because of AI? I'm not entirely sure, but if I can find a way to program my fucking strategy, I'm going to do it. I actually made that my goal this year to see if I can like somehow, I don't even know specifically with AI, but yeah, I mean, dude, it'd be sick to do that, bro. It'd be
dude,
really
I want to
cool.
make like such a gnarly indicator. Like make something that's like,
I just feel like
so OP.
I feel like indicators just don't really work as a thing. Like they're
I mean, but like, of course, you need to have some sort of discretion, but like up to a point where like with AI, you know,
I was thinking of like a scenario builder, right? Where it's like the same way I was just showing everyone how I mark out 2 levels and then I wait for someone to present off that depending on structure. I was thinking like, what if there was this like indicator in a way that like, okay, it shows you those 2 ideal scenarios. And once it trades into one of them, then it triggers like what structure you want to look for.
Right.
So it's not necessarily like an enter or don't enter type of thing.
No,
it's more like look for this.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but honestly,
that's kind of what I was thinking.
It'd be sick to just program the strategy. I feel like it's so possible, bro. With AI, there's no way. There's literally no way.
But that's the thing also. It's like, I don't know how about like fully automated it can be, just because of course there's like so much discretion, like break even at the internal high or down. Like it's kind of tough to like write that in code. You know?
I guess
that's why I think like the
indicator. But you can
like,
make it super mechanical. Like even like, you know what I mean? I think like discretion is just what changes like the win rate from like, let's say like 70 to 75, 76%. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I like over the course of a year. Yeah. But like it can still very much like you can make it only mechanical.
No, you can.
You know what I mean?
I think you can. We'll see. All right. I'm going to answer one more question, then we'll get into the winners of this Q&A because we just got the winners. I'm super excited. One more question. Let's see. Man, just like pause chat, bro. My mom is kind of homeless. Oh, what book do you recommend for psych? Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. The best book. I've literally only read one book on trading, so don't ask me what other books. But that was like the one book that I actually read, bro, that literally changed my life.
I don't read. I just watch anime. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not necessary, but bro, like I was in a really dark place psychology wise, and that was the one book that really turned everything for me. Or you can watch his video on YouTube. He has like an hour-long video on YouTube, like pretty much similar amount of sauce. Just search up Mark Douglas Trading in the Zone. He's a great mentor.
I'm a heavy believer in like manifestation, affirmation, and shit like that. That's something that I did for a long time. That, I mean, bro, the thing is, you can train your brain to believe anything. And so if you tell yourself, you know, like we said, we made you guys say like, oh, I am this, I am that. The more you tell yourself that, the more you will start subconsciously acting as that. Like a lot of you guys, I'm sure there's people in there in chat who like you speak so negatively about yourself. Like you'll tell yourself, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm so broke, and all this shit. And the more you repeat that in your head, the more you start to like actually become that. Right. Even it doesn't matter if you're broke on paper, bro. Broke is also like a mindset. You know what I mean? The more you tell yourself like, oh, I'm broke, my situation sucks, the more you like actually suck into that shit. And it's harder to get out of that stage. So are you Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. I'm Catholic. I'm Christian, Catholic, whatever. Top 3 animes, Vinland Saga, Code Geass, Hunter x Hunter. Easy. I used to struggle with that answer, but I think I got it unlocked now. I think I got it unlocked. Code Geass peak? Yeah, I agree. Code Geass is so freaking good. Whoa, why did someone just say you're gay as fuck?
What the fuck?
Will AI take over trading? I don't know. Maybe. You gotta utilize AI, bro. You don't know what the fuck it can take over. What about One Piece? I'm just not up to date, bro. I'm still on fucking Fishman Island. I haven't watched it since high school. When I have last 30 days to pass, should I full pour? I will gain freedom. All right. Anyways, let's get into these winners. So the winners.
No, I'm not Jewish, but I trade like one.
The winners of this funded account giveaway, we have the names right here. You might have the same name as one of these guys, but you're going to get an email. It's going to be Oliver, woo, Stefan, woo, and Evan. All right? If that's your name, it's probably you, bro. It's probably you. And we're going to email you right after this. So there's probably like 4 people with the same name, and they're all like, oh, shit, which one is it?
Or they're changing their names right now.
But yeah. That's that. You're gonna get an email, so make sure you check your email. Yeah, Bryce. I mean, it's Steffi, not you. Your name wasn't on the list, Bryce. But yeah, I mean, we do giveaways all the time, guys. So you know, don't stress it. But make sure you check your emails if you heard your name. We're gonna send you an email, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this call. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Did you guys enjoy this call?
W's in the chat.
I'm not playing Rocket League right now. Bet. All right, fellas. Well, I hope you have a phenomenal day. I hope you enjoyed this. We're about 2 hours in. There's a lot of sauce in here. We'll make sure you guys get the recordings and everything. Rewatch it. Grind our YouTube videos. Whatever it takes, bro. You got this shit. All right? You are capable, bro. You are fucking successful. You're profitable. All these things. Just grind every day. Trading is no different than anything else. You're not going to get rich overnight. You're going to have to put the fucking work in and actually practice and get better. That's how it goes. Even once you start making money, you have to keep those habits up. It's a never-ending cycle, but that's the price for having financial and locational and time freedom. It doesn't come fucking easy. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys have a blessed one, and peace out.
Peace out, guys. Peace out.
Peace. 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 Peace.